A lot of my inspiration came from my father. I was brought up in a restaurant. My parents owned one for 20 years. I lived above it. When I started very young, started washing up in their restaurant, moved on to the salad side, progressed from there, went to college, and then obviously joined all the hotels down in Torquay. Cut down the breastbone until you hit the main carcass. I'm doing a pigeon crostini with a nice salad with feta and asparagus and some figs. Just take the top off because you can't eat that and set it aside. Okay? And then cut it into 8 nice wedges. So what you've got to remember is when you're picking it up with a fork, you can't have pieces that are too large. As you can see, oh, very nice and ripe, this one. Beautiful pink colour. Nice piece of fresh feta, and then just cut it into a nice small dice. Baby asparagus, as you can see, all nice new season, nice and small tips. So put a couple of those in there as well. Then we put some honey mustard dressing in it. Honey, as obviously being a summer dish, you've got a nice load of bees around, nice fresh flavour. Some of the things that I like most about cooking and the food is the freshness of the ingredients and the diversity that you can actually do with the dishes just by combining the flavours and the ingredients. The dish today, we had a little bit of feta in there, even though it's an eclectically British dish. Just that little bit of feta gave you the acid that worked against your sun-dried cherry tomatoes. And just playing with it, you've got to be passionate about it. You wouldn't be able to do the job otherwise. And you know, having the confidence to try new things out. You have a failure, it's not a problem. You learn from it, you try something else. And that's how you get better. A nice French stick. And so nice fresh olive oil, and you just drench this over the bread the night before. Some fresh herbs, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. I like to use mignonette because it's got a nice little crack to it. When I was at college and I first started out, Antoine Mosman was actually one of my first inspirations. Beautifully presented food, wonderful flavours. Since I've been working back up in London again, I've eaten in his restaurant a couple of times. He's still serving fantastic food even now, and a lovely gentleman too. Nice hot pan, so it's nice, sizzles straight away. And then after a couple of moments, let's say just turn it over and just let it finish a little bit from the other side. I'll just give it a quick flambe with a little bit of Madeira. You just finish it off with a little bit of the Aylgar, which just adds a little sweetness to it. So pour that over the breast and then let that reduce slightly. So then when you've taken it off the breast, then you just turn it back and just leave it to rest a little bit on the board. As a chef, in the future, I can't see myself ever letting go of chefing. It's in your blood. You know, you don't start cooking and stop. So I don't know what I'm going to be like when I retire. I'll probably just cooking and inviting people around and having lots of dinner parties. Don't forget your little cherry tomatoes, sun-dried. That adds a nice bit of texture to it as well. Give it another mix. The coating from the sun-dried tomato oil, it's going to give it all a nice shine. And then you start placing that in the opposite corner to the crostini. So then with your breast, it's nicely rested now. A very nice sharp knife, just with your hand, flatter your hand on it, slowly cut some slices from the breast. If you do like it cooked a little bit more, it's fine, don't worry, because when you put your hot sauce on it a little bit later, obviously that'll help cook it as you present it. So then when you've done that, arrange that on the plate, using your smaller pieces obviously at the ends, nicely layered, keeping the larger slices. I love this dish, it's a very nice summery one. It brings out the pigeon breast, say the beetroots, the new season of the asparagus. To me, it's such an English dish. And then from there we put a little bit of dust on it, green pea dust. It just adds another dimension to the dish. I think Chef Taster is it's a brilliant new idea. They have their own websites and these recipe cards. There's a little story about them, the recipe. The photography is brilliant. You know, they take the full day out, producing the dishes, a very professional operation. It's all good publicity for myself, my skills, the hotel, bringing customers in.